All right, I'd like to let everybody know this meeting is being recorded, posted on a township video website. You can submit public comment by email to glippincott@westrock-hilltownship.org. We will take public comment until the end of the meeting, and we will read the public comment prior to the vote at the end of the meeting, depending on what is appropriate. Okay, I see 7 o'clock here on my screen. So I'd like to call this meeting to order for October 19th Board of Supervisors. And I will lead by Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First on the agenda is public comment on agenda items. If anybody has any, please state your name and address. I don't see any hands raised. Okay, moving on. Announcements. I do want to announce that we are going to have an executive session following tonight's meeting. Is there any other announcements, Greg, I should be aware of?
No.
Okay. All right. Moving forward, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. Listed is September 21st, 2022 meeting minutes, wind plan review status, emergency services report, building zoning permit report, public works report, conservation committee report, planning commission report, and treasurer's report and payment of bills. If there's no questions or concerns regarding all of the first 8 or so items, I will ask the manager to read the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
The treasurer's report ending September 30th, 2022. The general fund, $1,048,618.19. Highway aid, $206,460.27. Open space, $1,426,823.28. The park fund, $32,949.84. The equipment fund, $19,615.70. Highway capital, $130.68. The street light fund, $37,354.19. The general fund, $430,422.37. The American Rescue Plan Fund, $549,506.02. Open Space Manderfield, $41,438.74. The Sewage Maintenance Fund, $491.38. Stormwater Fund, $10,898.39. And the escrow funds, $2,367,355.57.
Can you read that escrow fund again? I have something wrong, different here. I have $2,614,000. Am I reading that wrong?
Is $2,367,355.57.
Okay, I got you. Thank you. I was up the line.
Right.
Apologize for that. Okay. Any questions or comments, concerns regarding that matter? If not, I will entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I've reviewed the minutes and the reports, and I have no issues. I have no comments. I have no corrections. So I'm good with it.
Okay.
I've also reviewed all the information, have no questions. One comment, just to try to remember to thank Sellersville, Telford, Trumbowersville, and Tylersport for providing their fire coverage. We just had the fire committee meeting, so I want to make sure to thank them. And as a volunteer.
Very good. Thank you. So we have a motion made by David and a second by Hal. All those signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is confirmed appointments. I don't see any listed here. Moving on to the next issue, committee reports. The Park and Rec, Mr. Dave Rice.
All right, Park and Rec. Got the best committee in the township. I'm just going to brag on my members. I am very fortunate. We had another successful day at September Fest this past, I should say at the end of September, the last Sunday in September every year. I think it's the 26th or 27th. I got to go back and double check those numbers of September Fests. We had another great day. Weather-wise, we got a little bit of rain, kind of slowed us down a little bit, but we made it through the day. We had a good day. Want to thank all the sponsors that were able to donate, all the community members that came out to share in our community day, and enjoy it was a great day for the majority of the day, minus that rain here and there, and a little bit of damper here and there, but it's all good. We made it through the day. Another successful day for Septemberfest for West Rock Hill. In the upcoming weeks, you'll see some changes. You'll see probably the next couple of weeks when I work with Greg and the township guys. We'll be looking at some trees, and we'll see some red maples. We'll see some sycamore trees getting planted. So hopefully, beginning November timeframe, we'll see some trees getting planted, and you'll see the park getting looking a whole lot better, where some holes of where the trees could be are now going to be. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing the park get even better. I think that is all for tonight. It was pretty quick, but we got a lot of good things going on, and like I say, it's just I'm very fortunate to work with everybody, all the members that I have on the Park and Rec committee. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Any questions for Dave by Hal or David?
I have none.
Okay. I want to
No
also
questions?
thank,
Yep. Just saying that you guys did a really good job this year, keeping everybody mostly dry and keeping everybody around with the music playing and keeping the food coming. So even if it was raining sideways and then went to bright sunshine and then back to raining sideways and back to bright sunshine, but you get some rainbows out of it.
okay. Thank you. I also want to thank the Park and Rec members. I also want to thank the Historical Society for having their setup there and having the house open for tours and stuff. I don't know what the attendance actually was due to the weather, but I hope that some new people have gone through there anyway while they were at the community day. We do have a great group of volunteers in this township, and I am very proud of everybody, and I thank you very much, as well as the other supervisors do as well. So thanks. And Dave, the only question I had, or I guess, just bring me up to speed. I know we were talking about getting the sign fixed. There was some work that needed to be done on the sign, right?
Yes. We're
still working on that?
Yes. That is
Okay.
still in the plans to get done this year. We're still looking for the sign company to get back to us so we can get an estimate, so we can get that all wrapped up.
Okay, thank you. All right, with that, I entertain a motion for approval of the Park and Rec report.
I'll move to approve the Park and Rec report.
I will second David Collingwood.
Okay, I have a motion made in second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next on the
Thank
agenda here is the commission reports. Penn Ridge Regional Police Chief Dickinson, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. How are you all doing?
Good.
I have the September 2022 activity report presented to you in October. In the month of September, we responded to 719 calls for service. 315 of them were in East Rock Hill Township. The remaining 404 were in West Rock Hill Township. Police department handled 19 traffic crashes. Of those crashes, 5 of them were reportable, 14 were non-reportable, and 8 were occurring in West Rock Hill Township. I'm sorry, 8 were in East Rock Hill Township, and then it looks like 10, so maybe my numbers are off a little bit here, but 10 in West Rock Hill Township. Officers responded to 11 Part 1 crimes and 25 Part 2 crimes, totaling 36 crimes for the month. Your Part 1 crimes are your more serious crimes, while your Part 2 crimes are your less serious crimes. The reported crimes that we responded to in East Rock Hill, we responded to 1 assault, 1 burglary, 4 thefts, 1 criminal mischief, 2 narcotics complaints, 1 disorderly conduct, 2 disturbances, 1 terroristic threats complaint, 2 trespassing complaints, and 2 ordinance violations. 1 was a burning complaint, and the other one was a dog complaint. In West Rock Hill Township, we had 2 reports of a rape, sexual offense, 1 burglary, 2 thefts, 3 criminal mischiefs, 1 firearms offense, 1 harassment report, 1 DUI report, 1 disturbance, 1 terroristic threats report, 3 reports of trespassing, 1 unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and then 1 ordinance violation, which was a dog law. Criminal charges for the filed in the month of September, there's 42 total. 3 theft reports, 3 receiving stolen property reports, 2 burning complaints, which were both summary offenses, 3 simple assaults, 1 possession of an instrument of a crime, 2 charges of criminal mischief, 4 charges of harassment, 2 charges of disorderly conduct, 6 charges of trespass, 1 charge of resisting arrest, 1 indecent assault, 1 strangulation, 2 unauthorized use of a motor vehicle arrest, 1 drug possession arrest, 1 drug paraphernalia arrest, 1 DUI arrest. We arrested 1 individual for PFA violation, 3 charges of reckless burning, 2 charges of conspiracy to commit reckless burning, and then 2 charges of resisting arrest. That's a pretty busy month for us. So the guys are really working hard and got a lot of things accomplished. Other police activities for the month of September, we did 170 traffic enforcement details, 29 traffic citations were issued, 35 traffic warnings were issued. We did 30 school checks, 105 park checks, 2 foot patrols, and our officers attended 76 hours of training in September. For the year, 6,665 calls for service, 211 traffic accidents, 342 offenses have been reported. We filed 175 criminal charges so far in 2022, and our officers have attended 974 hours of training in 2022 as well. And that would be your September 2022 activity report. And I don't have anything else for you.
Okay. Are there any questions for the chief on the report as presented?
I have a
Seeing
comment
none.
and a question, if
Okay,
I may. Chief, thanks, first of all, for the 2022 totals versus 2021. Appreciate that. The question I have is, you had 42 criminal charges filed. What does that do as far as officers and their timing in court? Does that take a pretty heavy toll on that, or is that too early in the process?
It's kind of hard to for me to relay that to you, based on the fact of a lot of the officers' attendance to court is at the basic level, which is in Quakertown. So I mean, obviously, the more arrests we make, the more we go to court. But I really won't say that it's has much of an impact on us. It's just that's part of doing the job. So,
Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, I'll entertain a motion. Go ahead, Hal.
One quick comment that the chief, you might want to consider putting some cars up for regulating speed on Ridge Road near the quarry, since we're now waiting. We've had 2 poles go down, at least 1 other car off into the grass in the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, I don't disagree with you there, Mr. Shermer. The only issue that I have is there's really no safe spot for the officers to sit. But I'll have one of the sergeants go out there, take a look at it, and see where we can put guys at for that.
Yep. Every now and then we see, because I'm right on Ridge Road where the passing zone used to be, which is still active, and every now and then you got people trying to make the kamikaze pass before they get to the turn where the last 2 telephone poles were knocked out. So, thank you.
Okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved, David Collingwood.
Motion's been
And
made.
seconded, Hal Shermer.
Seconded. Thank you. All those signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Moving forward, the next on the agenda is Joint Rec Authority. Jan Dees, how are you?
Good. How are you? How's everybody doing?
Good.
We had our last meeting on October 6th with all 6 members present. We did receive the outcome of the grant for the feasibility study. We were one of 400, and they only picked 100 applicants. So with that being said, we were invited to reapply again in 2023. So we did have a discussion, and I said, we can't wait any longer. We have to move forward. Something needs to be done. So in conversation, we brought up many different ideas, and we came up with a few, and Kevin Dietz went to Gilmore and Associates, and they will do a feasibility study for us pro bono.
Oh,
So, yes, so they should be out within the next 2 or 3 weeks to do that, to take care of what needs to be done repair-wise at the pool. I've made contact with Anton and Sons Pools out of Chalfont. They've been in business for over 50 years. And he said he would be glad to come out, look at the pool, see where we stand, take a look at all the pumps, and assess where we would need to update. Because our plan, as well as everybody else's, is to open in 2023. We have been working very hard and diligently in getting a lifeguard program together that would start in January. And so that will, once we get that together, I will have that for you. And the other is that we have our budget done. So we just have to finish up some itemization, and we're going to vote on it at our next meeting. And the supervisors will have a budget, and it will be itemized as to what we need. Other than that, we're just like pulling ends together. You know, the old saying is it takes a village. Well, it's going to need to take a village to get this pool up and going. So that means we need to get the community together to do that. We had a meeting. We were talking about cutting down the budget for mowing, just different ideas. And we were told that if I contact the athletic department at Penn Ridge, a lot of the teams get together to do community things, the players. So we're going to do that with them, which is a great thing. So there's a lot of things that we've been working on, and I hope to see a lot of change come through in the next month. So I will keep you updated. Does anybody have any questions?
Mr. Schremer, or sorry, Mr. Collingwood or Mr. Shermer, any questions for Jan?
No questions. I was at the meeting and reviewed the notes from all the other meetings. So that's a pretty good summary of where we are. We were quite deflated to find that we didn't get the grant, but then it turns out that one of the longtime contractors and engineers is willing to cut us a break. So we are very, very thankful for that. And it looks like we're getting a couple people who are interested in helping out, both at professional and private levels.
Okay, Mr. Collingwood, do you have any question or comment?
The only comment I have, it looks like November is going to be a big month because it looks like the Joint Rec Authority is going to be meeting in early November to finalize their budget, crunch the numbers, and hopefully they'll come back to the Board of Supervisors in November with what they think is a plan to open the pool. I think in November, you're going to have your work completed by the people from Chalfont.
Yes.
You're going to have a draft budget in November.
Mhm.
I think you were in one of your memos. I saw you were meeting with QNB to talk about funding for different activities that
Correct.
may come to fruition. And so November is going to be huge. The one thing I have questioned before, and I'll question again, is the impact, as you put in your memo, you talked about the upgraded pool complexes in the area.
Correct.
We are competing with Menlo, Quakertown, Solderton, and then you throw in Nockamixon, the YMCA, you throw in Indian Valley Country Club. It's quite a few pools in the area
Correct.
to satisfy the needs of lots of the population. So I think we have to balance that availability, our desires and the needs as we move forward.
So that is why we're trying to move forward, starting ASAP, to get a program together, to get certification for the lifeguards. We want to have as much together as we can by March. So we are ready. I want the pool to be drained and ready to go by the beginning of April, so we know what we have to do for upgrades. We have a very detailed plan laid out. So you will get a copy of that along with the budget.
Jan, I just want to say briefly, I was a little bit shocked on the requests of funding for the pool. However, and one of the reasons is because we don't know what the feasibility is, what upgrade,
Correct.
what the conditions are of the pumps. As as we all know, anybody that's worked in the industry knows, when pumps sit for a while, you may not be able to get them started.
Right.
And so I think there is some information that needs to be gotten yet before we take any action on what
And that's fine.
do.
That was a rough number that I had given, and we can go, work through that.
Can I ask another question regarding, for several years, I have asked for a number of what Sellersville charges the Joint Rec Authority for administration fees out of what we normally contribute. Now, normally last year we contributed 13,000 each, I believe, right?
Correct. Well, and they gave us an additional $12,000, which I wasn't aware of it.
I do hear that. I
Yes.
only ask the question so we can keep track of what it does actually cost to run this, because of course, when the Joint Rec Authority is being charged, by an entity, whether it be West Rock Hill or Sellersville, I think we should all know that should be documented somewhere, what those
And it
costs.
is, it's in the budget. They have not this past year charged us for any administration fees. So that has been very nice on their part. They did charge us for public works, however. So I do know that, and that is in that. So I'll get you a copy of that so you can see that.
Okay.
I am going to tell you that opening the pool, I am retiring next year, and I am coming to give all of my time during the summer to help with the pool.
Okay.
So I will be there all the time and just make sure everything's running and the way it should be. And I'm doing it pro bono. So I'm giving back as much as I possibly can.
Understand. The other thing I would like you to consider, or at least the group to consider, and I'm sure you have. There was talk about some things that were discussed regarding a softball field, possibly.
Yes. Yes.
A miniature golf thing, and then also there was some talk about solar panels. All this stuff costs a lot of money, and I didn't know if you had a plan on where that funding was going to come from, or
we understand that. I just today got off the phone with Quakertown National Bank. I called Univest, and I also called Penn Community to meet with them. Two didn't get back to me. Quakertown National did. They are big into funding to try to revitalize and like a park and things of that nature. So they're very anxious to speak with us about what our plans are. I will have final plans for you on the miniature golf that will be here next week. So I will forward them over to Greg so he can have them and show you, and you can see it in a bigger version than what you got.
Sure.
So we're trying to do that, but we need sustainability, accountability, and we need fun brought back to the pool. We haven't had fun at the pool for a very long time, and we need that. So I basically have been banging my head up against the wall, just trying to figure out what we can do.
Okay.
And this is what I came up with, because the miniature golf will give us sustainability that we will not in the future have to look to both West Rock Hill and Sellersville to keep the pool going. I don't want you to have that. That's very important to us, that we can stand on our own 2 feet.
Yes, that's been the drive. That's been the wish for the pool to be able.
And I think that I came up with something that would. We did meet with Penridge High School. They did come and look at the field last Thursday. I got an email on Monday that it's not deep enough for a field for the high school. It's just too shallow. So with that being said, I'm sending an email to Penridge Little League and see if they would have interest in that bottom field. Because I'm trying to cut down on the lawn mowing. I'm trying to make it what that area should be. It's for recreation. And that we want to give that back. So little by little, it will probably be a 2, 3, 4-year project, but we will get there. But I need to have the sustainability, and I feel that that's what the miniature golf course can give us.
Okay. Well, there's one other thing that we did discuss before. Just wanted to bring it up again so that you can jot it down when you have your next meeting. Is one concern that I see that we may face is parking. If you have the pool,
Okay.
if you have the pool open and you have this miniature golf and you have another thing going on there, I know when the pool's full, the parking lot's usually pretty full. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Right. We have already discussed that. There's
Okay.
over 100 parking spaces. We counted them.
Okay.
So we've been looking into that. With the high school, it really wouldn't have been an issue because they would be done playing baseball by the time the pool opened up.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So we kind of did that. With the Little League, yes, we're going to have that issue because they play into the end of June. Am I right, David? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so that would be an issue. And yes, for the miniature golf, absolutely. So that there are things I have been thinking about and what
Okay.
we can do. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, so I've been working on this feverishly.
All right. Well,
I have
Okay.
one more comment. Jen, you talked about the people from Chalfont coming in and looking at the pool.
Yes.
And you're talking about in 2 to 4 years, if everything goes the way you plan, it's going to be a bed of roses. The question I have is, Chalfont also needs to look at the fact that the pool is 52 years old plus.
Correct. And he knows that.
And it may not just be we may not just continue to put bandages on this pool. There may be at some point where we really have to cut bait and decide what's going to happen to it long term.
Right. And I understand that because the problem is for the last 40 years, all we've ever done is kind of bandage it and keep it going. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where there should have been more upgrades to it. But they couldn't, and I understand that. But this is what is left in our lap right now. So we have to deal with at least getting the pool open, looking at what the feasibility study says, looking to what Tom Anton tells us, what he feels about the pool, and go from there. So that's where
Okay.
we are.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yep. All right. With that being said, I thank Jan for the information she's given us, and I would entertain a motion for approval of the Joint Rec Authority report.
I'll move to approve the Joint Rec Authority report.
All right.
Seconded.
Seconded. All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Jan, thank you and your committee members for all you're putting in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, next on the agenda is the tax collector's report. Suzanne Clark.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, for our annual taxes for the month of October, I've collected $252.33, and our interims for 2022 is $287.72. I just want to let everyone know that the school tax bills are due in face by the 31st of October this month, and then there is a 10% penalty if paid after the 31st. And just to give everyone a heads up that any unpaid taxes in November, I will be sending out final notices to all the residents who haven't paid their county, township, or school tax bill. So that's my whole report.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Suzanne?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay.
No, I guess one quick question is when you're mailing out the notices, have you noticed the mail speed picking up or slowing down?
It has not changed in my office. I still have no mail Tuesday, and it's very slow.
Okay.
All right, thank you. With that being said, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the tax collector's report.
So moved, David Collingwood.
All right,
Seconded, Hal Shermer.
motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Moving forward, the engineers report, Mr. Bala.
I still have my mic on off. I do not have anything on my report tonight unless there's any questions.
I have one question for you, Steve.
Sure.
The project on Bethlehem Pike, the roofing,
Procom roofing.
yes. What is the status with it? I haven't seen anything going on there for quite some time now.
They just restarted work. Apparently they got caught up in the supply problem and they couldn't get their building supplies for their new building. So I believe Greg could confirm they got their building permits worked out with the township and they're actually started footers this week for the building.
Yeah, they just got their permits.
Okay.
There's
All right.
actually
Very good.
this week, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody have any other questions for Steve?
Nope.
If not,
No questions.
all right. I'll entertain a motion just for approval of the report.
I'll move to approve the engineer's report.
Okay. Motion's been made. I'll second it. All those signify by saying aye.
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 All right. Thank you. Moving forward, the next on the agenda is solicitor report. Mary Eberly. Hello.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Hello. There's two items under the solicitor's report this evening. At the last meeting, you reviewed two subdivision land development projects. The first of which was the final plan approval for the development on Green Top Road, Green Top Homes, it's called. So we have prepared a resolution that is consistent with your discussion. It is in your packets. And if you feel it appropriate to adopt, the next resolution number is 2022-8.
Okay.
Doesn't sound right, does it? Is that really the right number? 2022-8? Okay,
Yes, it is.
I won't argue.
Okay. Are there any questions regarding that, or can I entertain a motion for approval of conditional final plan approval for Green Top Road?
I've read through all of the approvals and everything seems to be in order, so I agree to move forward.
Okay, so the motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
And I've been to all the meetings forever on this project, so I agree and I will second.
Thank you.
Motion.
All right, motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
And the second project is the Moser property, which has a long and storied history that you went through at the last month's hearing. The resolution for preliminary final approval is in your packets for this evening. And if you would like to adopt that resolution, the number is 2022-9.
That's 9. Okay. Do I have a motion for preliminary final plan approval resolution for the Moser Construction subdivision?
I will move that.
Okay, motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
Second, David Collingwood.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Motion been made and second. All those signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
And that is all I have to report tonight. Unless you have questions.
I don't have any questions. Do either of my fellow supervisors have any questions for Mary?
I have no questions. Thank you very much.
Thank
Nope,
you
no
very
questions.
much.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the solicitor report as presented. Do I hear a second?
Second, David Collingwood.
Okay, thank you. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, next on the agenda is the manager's report. Mr. Lippincott?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item is authorization to go out to bid for the 2023 pipe work. The township is seeking a motion to go out for a bid for the 2023 pipe replacement projects. We will bid one pipe as the main bid. The rest is alternates. The list is below. Old Bethlehem Pike, which was removed for the 2022 list. Forest Road at the intersection of Old Mill. Simmons Road close to 219. Camp Rock Hill Road close to 371. Shoecraft close to 2550. Thousand Acre Road close to 288, and Lower Rocky Dale, there's 2 pipes close to 1780.
Any questions or concerns on those
I have a
issues?
comment, David Collingwood. Yeah, I'd like to, Mr. Lippincott, I think we may have had the discussion early in the year. I think there's a deteriorating pipe on Barnt Road just between house number 232 as you come around the curve after that barn and the next property. I thought it was a pothole at first, and it was filled 2 years ago, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And I actually looked at it, and the pipe is just caving in under the road. So it's drivable, but I think at some time it will need to be replaced. So we should put it on this list as an alternate at least.
Okay,
Barnt Road.
got that, Greg?
Yeah, I got that. I wrote that down, and as long as the board's okay with authorizing advertisement, we can go out to advertisement for that.
I'm okay with offering advertisement. Do I have a second?
Second, David Collingwood.
Okay. Motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Next,
The next item is the 2023 budget reminder. The board was presented a draft budget via email. If you have any questions or comments, I'll be presenting it at next month's November meeting. Then at November, you'll authorize advertisement, and then at the December meeting, you will have to adopt the budget. So,
Got it.
okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
the last item is I got a quote to line stripe the parking lot of the township building. There's one quote. There's 2 prices. One is the full parking lot, approximately 30 spaces, 9 by 18. This will include the upper and lower entrance parking lot. The total cost is $510. To exclude the lower lot, 280 spots, approximately 16 parking spaces, would be $325.
Any questions or comments regarding this matter from my fellow supervisors?
I think we should do the whole $500 thing. It's not, for the cost that it seems minimal to me, and I think it would be a service to the community, and actually just, I mean, we've redone that parking lot. It would make the whole building complex look a lot better.
Okay. Well, I would tend to agree. I don't
Yep,
think it's
I
that
agree.
much.
It looks to be a pretty good quote, and it makes sense that while they're there, get the whole thing done at one time so that it's completed and
Okay.
available.
All right, so I'm hearing a motion by
I'll
David
make a
and
motion.
second
Yep.
by Hal.
I'll second, yes.
Okay, to strike the parking lot, the full 30 spaces, I guess it is, right, Greg?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
30 spaces.
Great.
Very good. What else you have, Greg?
That's it.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the manager's report.
I'll move to approve the manager's report.
Second, David Collingwood.
Thank you. Motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving forward on old business is up next. Anybody have any old business?
I have none.
I do not.
Okay, I have one. I have
Good.
one that I want to bring up. And that is, I was going through the newsletter that we got back before September Fest. And I was looking at some Centurion residents that we had listed there in under one of the articles. And we haven't picked a citizen recognition person for the wall. We had used to do one a year, at least one a year, in the back of the room of the township building, and we haven't done it. And I thought that it would be nice, not just for people that volunteer on a regular basis, but we have 4 residents in this township that are over 100 years old or have been over 100 years old. I would like the board, my 2 fellow supervisors, to consider maybe nominating one of those residents to add to the wall for next year or more. I'm just throwing this idea out there. I know there's 2 clingers that are on there, and there's 2 other ladies, I believe, that are on there. So if there is interest, or if there's a feeling that we could add one of these people, I would appreciate it.
I agree with that. I can actually get that list for you, and I can share it, and we can move on. At least from my perspective, we can move on with it.
Okay, so if the list can be generated through the supervisors by, I would say, let's bring this back up again in November,
Right.
and act on it and start the
Yeah,
process. Okay.
Yep, I agree. It's a good idea, and also probably include the usual resolution of recognition for thank you for your work for the people who are volunteering and commending them for their work in the township and their time in the township.
Absolutely. I don't know how many. I mean, I don't know that people keep records of that, but I felt that was pretty interesting to see that we had 4 residents that lived to be over 100 years old. And actually, I think 1 or 2 of them are still alive.
Correct.
Right? Yes. Okay. That was the old business item that I had, that I wanted to bring up. Is there any new business? Seeing none?
I don't have any new business.
Done.
Okay. Then I will move on to public comment. If you have public comment, raise your hand. Or Greg, you have any emails there for public comment? None. Okay. Yes, I see one here. Tony Bogner. You're muted. There you go.
Thank you, Jay. Tony Bogner, 2920 Clymer Avenue. I got a comment, and I know public comment isn't a question, but if I may, I'd like to ask who or why was an estimate asked for the parking lot striping? And you don't have to answer it. That's my comment. And then my other comment is that I'd like to thank Jan and her husband Kevin for what they did for the pool, and for Kevin to reach out to Gilmore, and for Gilmore to do that pro bono. That means a lot, and that's a lot of money right there. So anyhow, that's that. But I would like to have my first question answered if I could. If I can't, then that's fine. But thank you.
I don't have a problem with answering it. Just do other you 2 fellow supervisors have a problem with me answering Tony's question?
No.
No
Okay.
problem.
All right. Mr. Collingwood brought up to the board, actually to Greg, and Greg relayed to the other 2 fellow supervisors that there's interest in striping the parking lot out front so that people could see where to park exactly, and to add two handicap spaces. So that's how this thing started and came about, and we agreed that it should be done, and we only agreed on it tonight. So that's how this came about. Okay.
All right, I thank you. I didn't know anything about it till now. It's been talked about for umpteen times for meetings, and now all of a sudden we're paying for it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I never saw a lot of people at the township building, and I never felt that I didn't know where to park, but that's just my personal opinion. So
Understand, Tony. I was kind of in the same situation, being involved in the township for so many years. However, it does make it easier for some people that, you know, I will say sometimes there's more space in between cars than others. And in the meetings that I attend, Park and Rec and whatever, you know, before in the past, I think it will help to keep people in between the lines.
all right, thank you.
So,
You're
welcome.
As they say, you have to stay in your lane. So I guess that's what it is. Stay in your lane.
Right. There you go. Okay, is there any other public comment? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment into executive session.
I'll move to adjourn to executive session.
All right.
Second, David Collingwood.
All right. Motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for attending and giving your input. We very much appreciate it. See you next month.